Supergirl number 16, written by Mike Johnson, art by Mahmoud Asrar. So, last issue was Superboy number 16, and in it, the Justice League were breaking into the Fortress of Solitude, and Flash was kind of just doing his own thing. Turns out it was the spin into this issue. But first, we pick up way long time ago where Hell has crashed his ship into the Himalayas, and he collapses outside with a bloody drawing of a backward Superman crest on his chest. And we see the Herald from, I believe it was last issue of Superboy, saying, maybe it was Superman, but basically saying like, oh, hey, this dude's here. That must mean it's time. I must tell my master. But then we cut back to now, where Flash is coming out the other side of the wall of Fortress of Solitude, and he's like, whew, didn't think I could vibrate through that. Also, I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to vibrate through anything ever again, so if I don't use the superpower in another comic, that would be why. But then immediately Supergirl tackles him, and she is just like, get out, we're not dealing with any of Kal-El stuff, just get out of here. And he's trying to get him out, and Flash is like, hey, please stop, and he manages to outspeed her, and she's like, okay, didn't think anyone was faster than me and Kal, that's weird. But as she's firing off heat vision at him, trying to get him to go away, he basically says, like, here's the thing. I was told 2 instructions by Superman. 1, get you out of the fortress as fast as I can. And 2, not to die because you're probably going to try to kill me. So that's all I'm going to do because Superman told me to. And we see him use his, like, twister arm thing to throw her off guard. And he says, like, I'm on your side. Superman, you're not in the right mind. Superman knows what's up. He's just trying to help you. And she's like, I don't want to hear there's no way to save my planet. Really not in the mood for that. I like hearing the good things from Hell. So why won't you just let us try to save the planet? And this like super fast fight scene happens, and Supergirl's really struggling to keep up with Flash. But she does, and she proceeds to get a handle on both the little lightning bolts on the side of his head and pull him down and just knee him in the face. And he's like, oh my god, if I wasn't vibrating my head right now, I think your knee would be inside my skull. And she's like, yeah, I don't want to hurt you, but I totally will if you get in my way again. And he's like, all right, fair enough. But Superman also gave me a third instruction, which is if you don't come with willingly, to do whatever it takes. And so he grabs Supergirl and they vibrate through another wall, seemingly outside, but it turns out this is just the other side of the zoo that Superman has in his fortress. So they land inside the carnivorous exhibit, more or less, and are attacked by some monsters. Supergirl's like, okay, well, I don't want this guy to like die, so I will lead him away from the monsters. But apparently, because of it being so many different creatures, they have like a changing habitat. They just end up in a snowy area with some crazy looking bat owl things. And Supergirl saves Flash from one of them, and then he grabs her again, and they vibrate through the wall once more. But this time, rather than being outside, they're still inside, but they're right next to Krypto. And Krypto shows up and attacks the Flash like, oh, I'll just bark. But then Supergirl's like, wait a minute, hold on. That's Krypto. Oh my God, Krypto, I haven't seen you in it. I can't believe you survived. And Flash is like, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to use this as an escape. And he runs off down into a nearby, I want to say armory, where he grabs 2 specific weapons. And Flash is like, sorry, Kara, but I have my mission. And so Kara tells Krypto, stay, don't get involved with this, stay over there. And as she flies down, she gets zapped by something. And Flash is like, Superman told me about this stuff he picked up, which is specially designed by a mad evil genius to disrupt Kryptonian biology. So I'm going to use it to take you out so I can get you out of here. And he keeps on zapping her. Apparently it's powered by kinetic energy, which is right of Flash's army. But then as he's about to finish it off, it just falls off of him. And we see Hell has walked in the room, and he just teleports Flash back to the watchtower. And it's just like, well, that was annoying. Anyway, turns out they're still here in the fortress, but no matter, they shouldn't mess with powers they don't understand. And Hell does this whole thing like, Supergirl, I can't lose you. You mean so much to me now. And just know you're never in danger as long as I'm here. And she's like, oh, that's so sweet and so awesome and whatever. So At this point, he reveals the machine, was just like, it's almost time. We're almost finished with our star chamber, and we will be able to save Krypton. And I'm so happy that even if it doesn't work out, I'll never be alone again. And then we get just a hint of something else completely unrelated, as far as I can tell. Some weird lizard aliens are flying through space on the other side of the Milky Way galaxy, and they come across a big thing in the, like, making its way towards the middle of our solar system. And the lizard aliens are like, Jesus Christ, I know what that thing is, and if it's heading somewhere, they're all doomed. And we see it's this giant thing. I don't know. It looks like a guy, but it's also made out of rock, and it's just a thing. And I'm guessing it's the master of that herald from the beginning. But either way, it's a thing. So this was a little bit scattered. I feel like they didn't have anything to really go in this Supergirl issue, so they had to just manufacture a reason to have a Supergirl issue. And so they did the whole Flash thing in the other part. It's not great. I don't really think it fits in as well, because by the end of it, you get the exact same thing that we had last issue. She's more or less falling for hell, and they're still going to destroy the solar system, but she doesn't know about it. It doesn't feel like it's necessary, I think, is this worst part, barring the opening and closing scene, which feel like they're setting up something entirely separate to this arc. So we'll see where that goes. But I'm going to give this one probably like I'll give it a 6.5. And a lot of that's Crypto. I like Crypto. He's a good boy. So yeah, not great, not awful, but it definitely isn't necessary.